What is up, everybody? I'm Freddie Benson. That's Nick Earnshaw. Nick, tell them why. Who the heck is Freddie Benson? Can you just tell the audience?
Well, I was giving you the countdown before before we went live. It's live in the corner. It says on our stream right now. We're live on Twitter, so this is just awful. But no, I said I was Freddie Benson because I was counting down. And you're too old because you don't remember iCarly. You don't remember iCarly.
First off, I'm glad I was too old for iCarly. That came out
awesome.
in oh my God, yeah.
Awesome.
Drake and Josh was miles ahead of iCarly.
I love Drake and Josh. No, I'd put Drake and Josh over iCarly, but iCarly was
okay. But iCarly was too corny, man. It was too corny.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was great. It was a great.
You were like, it
was a great spinoff from Drake and Josh. Great spinoff.
It was all right. Real take. It wasn't bad. It was just maybe it was just after my time. Like I think when that was popular, I was in 9th, 10th grade, and I was getting out of that phase.
Had your Walker. You had your Walker.
I had my time on Walker. I had my Walker Bueller. I had my Christian Walker. I had all these Walkers. All right. So
Ready, Ben.
It's gonna be a great show today. This is gonna be just a great show today. Nick, first off, how are you? Let's start off by asking.
I'm good. I know you got your nap in today, your old man nap in the afternoon. You
so did you. Shut up. Milk. You got your nap in too.
Yeah. You had your milk. You had your warm milk, your cookies. You're ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I had neither. I had a couple of bites of a protein bar. I had salad with some chicken before the show today, about 3-4 hours ago. I'm getting ready to go for a run after this and then eat some late dinner.
You run?
Because I've what?
You run?
I run. I do run. Do I look too old to run? Do I look too old to run? You need to take the eye test, but I'm not that old.
This is news to me. I know you played tennis and weren't very good at that, but I didn't know you ran too.
You knew I ran. Come on, you're a liar. You're doing that for the show.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. Right, Francisco runs. Francisco runs.
It sounds like it could be another podcast name.
Francisco runs. Francisco might have the runs, but I don't know.
I saw that one coming. Jesus Christ. All right, Nick, let's just lay out today's show.
That was 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes of just nonsense to start the show.
Of course, and that's when the nonsense is the best. Let's go. So off the nonsense, on to some more nonsense, but nonsense actually related to baseball. So for today's show, we're gonna get into a proper introduction because we don't have proper introductions here. We'll get to it eventually. So we're gonna give you that. We're gonna talk about potential divisional realignment because who doesn't like some realignment talk when the American League East, everybody wants to make the playoffs in the American League East. So we'll talk about that. And then we'll get into the meat and the potatoes, the tater tots. As we always do, we'll get into possibly a team for each of us that we would revive and want to hear your guys' thoughts out there, of course. And then we'll get to a storyline that's not being talked about enough or not being talked about at all. You'll get one from each of us, me and Nick. And then we'll close the show with a little bit of modern day Randy Johnson / throwback. I don't know, man. We're going to see that. Huh?
Groundhog Day?
I don't know. I mean and we'll get into some bets to close out the show. I got some good bets. I don't know about that guy on your right there over there. By the way, shake my hand
Oh no, we're
not doing that today.
I'll go left hand. I'll go left-handed shake for you.
No, but you got to put the hand in front like that so it makes it look. Nick, let's get to today's show. So you brought this up to me earlier, and I actually, thought about this within the last, I guess the last time I saw this when you actually just mentioned this to me before the show. Jim Bowden kind of proposed his whole AL NL realignment, and people talk about this every now and then when things come up, like the American League East is just playing so much better than everybody else. But I don't know, man. You brought this up because obviously I want you to go first because you brought this up to me because I feel like you have a stance. At least that's the feeling I get. I mean, obviously we both have stances on this now, but preparing for the show. But So originally why did you bring this up to me, and what is your stance? That's what I want to hear.
So I read it. I was reading an article in CBS Sports just about like the ideas of realignment. Everyone in the AL East wants to win apparently, and it made me remember just a few months ago, kind of before the season started, Jim Bowden, former GM, put something out in the Athletic about his realignment. He put together a whole MLB division realignment, and it kind of just sparked ideas like, should baseball be like more like the NBA and have conferences, right? Kind of thing.
Mhm.
Or should they keep divisions but change it to like East, West, and like maneuver the teams around, right? So it got me thinking a little bit. I thought this would be a great discussion for you and I. I actually think you have a more hard stance than I do. I'd say I'm open to the idea of maneuvering with with the divisions maybe a little bit, or maybe the playoff formatting or something. I'm open to the idea. I wouldn't say I have a specific hard stance like, yes, we should realign, we should change
Oh, don't break the
change
table
everything.
there.
Oh, I'm laying the
Whoa.
hammer down.
I don't know, man. Your stance is pretty hard here. Go ahead.
No, I'm open to the idea of maybe changing things up a little bit. I mean, you already changed the rules. Baseball's in a new era now. We're heading towards that way. We're in an era of streaming. Everything's kind of changing a little bit, right? You're gonna have probably new teams, as we're probably gonna get into later, and have some fun with some expansion teams that we came up with, some ideas we came up with. So today's gonna be a fun show, but with the realignment thing, I'm open to the idea of a little bit of change. I don't know about drastic change like Jim Bowden proposed in the Athletic, but I am open. I'm open to a little bit of change, maybe with the playoff formatting and maybe switching things up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like. So you brought the playoff format there. I like the way they did it last year. Like, I like it. I like that part. What it was like. What wild card was best 2 of 3. I didn't.
Yeah.
Look, it created a lot of drama and fun to have like a 1 game, wild card. But we all knew that wasn't gonna last. Like, it just didn't make any sense competitively. But now that's fine. That's squared away for me. I like the playoffs how they are. The only thing about realignment, I don't get what. So what do we got? We have the Red Sox, the Mets, the Yankees, and this is according to Jim Bowden, and the Phillies. So there's gonna. I don't get like all those teams are like potentially like, I don't know. They could all be good at one time, and we're gonna be talking about realignment again. Like, is that the argument? Just because the AL East is playing really well, or the NL East will be playing really well one year, they're all good. Like, it's either they stay the same. They either like, you're not going to change it up. Like, it's either going to stay the same, all the divisions, or you get rid of divisions altogether. You get them rid of all together, and you go NBA 1 through 8, 1 through 8. There's pros and cons to each. So I'm not going to. You said I had a hard stance, which I kind of do. Pros and cons to each are this, right? So you take away divisions, you take away the rivalries. You probably would have more of a spread out schedule, correct? You would probably have more of a
Yeah, I mean that's
schedule.
kind of, but they do have a kind of more spread out schedule now, right? I mean,
They do,
like
but
now they play in every team at least once now. They're heading that way. Is kind of the idea.
right.
They're heading that way already. So that kind of makes me wonder: do they want to go just best record, and those top teams make it into the playoffs? That could be an idea. That's a possibility too. Just the top 6, 7 records, they make it into the playoffs.
I mean, here's the kind of the way I look at it. I think if we're being real, the right thing to do is have as close to an even playing field schedule for every single team. You get rid of divisions, and you say 1 through 7, or what is it? Is it 7 teams from each right now from each
7,
division?
right? Yeah, it's 7,
it would be right? Maybe that first team gets a bye or something like that. That would make sense competitively, because you cannot have, like, I'm sorry, like and I know it was just 1 year, but the Giants, and I brought this up to you before the show, Giants and Dodgers both won an absurd amount of games in 2021. I think like the Giants won 107,
yeah,
and the Dodgers won 100 plus as well. And the Dodgers barely won in the wild card game because of a Chris Taylor, I think, a walk-off home run. Like, they barely beat a Cardinals team that they had won at least 10 games more. Like, it can't be that. Again, I know the wild card series, they changed it up, but just in general, like, I understand the whole divisional thing, but maybe I am leaning towards more this way, man. The only thing that I would say, again, which I love, is the rivalries. Like, is the
Yeah.
rivalries. So, like, is that something we're willing to lose? Like, or maybe I think you probably get rivalries in general.
I think you would.
But it wouldn't be the same, though. It wouldn't be the same. That's the only thing you're losing. So again, there's pros and cons to each. You look at the divisional. If you had divisions, you're gonna get stuff like the AL East right now. You might get two teams winning close to 100 games, and one team gets the short end of the stick. But on the other hand, or you wouldn't get the rivalries, but or blah blah blah. But you get the rivalries, but you would have teams like Giants and Dodgers, and then but on the other side, again, I know I'm reiterating this. I'm just concluding it. On the other side, if you didn't have divisions, you no rivalries, at least initially, but competitively, it would stack up better.
I want to clarify. 12 teams make it right now. 12 playoff. There's 12 playoff teams. Now with the expansion, there could I guess you would have to go. You'd have to go 7, right? You'd have to probably go 7 if you expand.
Probably, yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess, especially if you're going to realign and all this stuff. So right now it's 12. It's 12. I wanted to clarify that. So 12. So I don't know. I'm going through Jim Bowden's kind of list. I kind of disagree a little bit. I feel like you get some rivalries out of that just based upon where the teams are located, geographical rivalries, right? I mean, the Yankees and Phillies. I mean that would be such a strong division rival right there. And you also have the Mets in there as well. You'd have both the New York teams in the same division, which is kind of wild according to Jim Bowden. And then you have the Boston, Philly, the Red Sox and Yankees. Like that division right there is stacked with rivalries.
But you already have rivalries in divisions right now. I'm not disputing
I
that.
know. I know there's rivalries right now, but like
right,
you would be ushering a new era of rivalries, right? The baseball's trying to generate interest, right? That's kind of the idea here. They want to generate new interest, a newfound rivalry, I guess you could say, could come of some of these.
So you're not cool with the rivalries we have right now in baseball?
Oh no, I'm cool with it. I'm fine. I'm just saying the idea, if you were to do this based upon Jim Bowden's entire
but then you would lose. Okay, I'm trying to look. But Yankees and Blue Jays, good rivalry right now, or at least in the moment. In the moment, I know with the Judge stuff and everything with
Marlins,
that.
Rays. Now you have a Florida rivalry right there.
Yeah, love that rivalry. Oh my god, I'm foaming at the mouth thinking about it.
Do you think if the Rays and the Marlins put together their entire fan bases, that they'd be able to sell out at least one? Stadium?
Listen, bro, I got a take on the Rays in just a couple of minutes. Save that. That's a good teaser. So just quickly before we move on to the meat and potatoes, give me so what's your final stance on this?
So my stance would be, if you're going to go the route, right? If you're going to play everybody every year, I think you should do the top six teams in each league, in the National League and American League. I think that could generate more interest, and you'd have, I think, the best 6 teams make it every single time.
Okay, so you're getting rid of divisions?
I get rid of I keep the divisions, but put more emphasis on the league standings, kind of like basketball does.
Okay, so because I guess the NBA and NHL do have divisions. I think the NHL does it. I'm trying to think how the NHL does. I forget how the NHL does
the NBA, they still have divisions, but they go by the conference. The best 6 teams, the best 6 records get in at the top.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see, but it's all about the balanced playing field, or the balanced schedule. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards getting rid of divisions and just 1 through 6.
1 through 6.
I don't know. It competitively, it makes more sense. Let's be real. I think we can agree on that. It does.
Yeah. But I want to go by, I mean, in a sense, you kind of already are doing the 1 through 6 to an extent, right? I mean, you have the top 3 division winners and then 3 wild card in a sense. So I guess divisions wouldn't really matter at that point. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, the only thing you would be getting right there, right? I guess is the argument is the Red Sox are in last place at 24-20.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Twins in the AL Central are in first place at 24-20.
Yeah.
So you get that argument, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't know. This will obviously, this just to end it. This will be something that's figured out over time, and it seems like the way they've done the schedule this year, they're probably leaning towards that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you know.
I think it's definitely something you're going to see down the line. They're gonna, especially with the new teams come in. I think they're going to shake things up. Whether it's in 10, 15, 20 years, we don't know. I couldn't see it being in the immediate future.
Yep. All right. Let's fasten our seatbelts, get your napkin, put it in your what is that? What's that? What's this called? Your shirt.
You got a cup. You got a cup.
Oh, you got a cup. All right, get your cup. I'm not having. I'll be honest with you. I already had chicken, so my meat is there.
I had a hoagie. I had a hoagie before.
You had a hoagie?
Yeah.
Well, what kind of hoagie?
Sharp Italian. Sharp Italian.
Don't tell me you call it a sub.
No, I was gonna ask. Do you call it a sub or anything else?
Hoagie. I know you live too close to like North or like.
No. Do not put me anywhere near North Jersey. I'm not
put you there.
Close. I'm South. I'm South Jersey. Not even. Close.
I know you are, but you're closer to North Jersey than I am. Is all I'm saying.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yes, you live in Jersey.
That doesn't matter. You can be geographically closer if you live in Pennsylvania to North Jersey.
We're gonna have to figure this out. let's save that for later. No one wants to hear about where we live. No one wants to hear about that. All right, so let's get the meat potatoes. First thing to start, and I'm gonna start here, Nick. This is my teaser from the Tampa Bay Rays. So again, you brought this idea up to me. You brought this up to me last week, like as soon as we ended the show. You wanted to bring back either you wanted to revive a team or you wanted to bring a new team to Major League or minor league baseball. But I think we're both sticking to Major League Baseball here. I could be wrong, but I think okay. So we're just both sticking to Major League Baseball. Here's how I would do this, and I've kind of like this came easy to me because I've thought about this idea the last couple of years. Go ahead.
I want to put in a disclaimer. Yours is way more realistic than mine. I will say that.
Okay, we'll see.
Way more realistic.
Let's let the fans out there decide. Let's let our millions of listeners decide that. Okay. So I've thought about this the last couple of years. I thought about what if the Philadelphia Athletics came back and you had two Philadelphia teams, and really how I kind of frame this to, as Philadelphia sports fan here is like, if the A's had stayed here, who would you have been a fan of, the Phillies or the A's? Because the A's history, or the Phillies might have been a team like the Mets are in New York, where they're the little brother to the Yankees, maybe that type of thing. But team to revive here, obviously for me, I think it would be dope. It's a big market. Bring a second team to Philadelphia. Bring back the Philadelphia Athletics. Okay, bring back the Philadelphia Athletics. They're moving from Oakland anyway. You get rid of, let me just, before I confuse anybody, you would bring back the Philadelphia Athletics. You would get rid of the Tampa Bay Rays. People even barely show up when they're good. Let's be real. They barely have trouble selling seats. Let's be real. Fans show up somewhat, but okay, that's besides the point. Okay. You bring back the Athletics, get rid of the Tampa Bay Rays. Vegas, they are not the Athletics anymore. They are the Las Vegas. I don't know, Nick. Maybe you have a good name for me. I mean, I don't really have any great names. For a Las Vegas team. I'll ask the audience out there what would be a good name for, because I think they're probably going to say the Vegas Athletics. I don't know. I haven't really heard. Anything.
I don't think changing that the A's,
but in my proposed world, it would be the Athletics in Philadelphia, Tampa Bay out. You rename the Athletics that are going from Oakland to Vegas. They're in Vegas now, and you bring back the Philadelphia Athletics. George Earnshaw comes back from the grave.
He is pitching.
Yeah, he's gonna throw out the first pitch. No, he's gonna throw out the first pitch. He's coming from his grave. Lefty Grove is there. Connie Mack with his, there he is. The Moose, but he's wearing his Cardinals jersey.
Yeah, he's in his Cardinals jersey. That was towards the end. It was towards the end.
Right. So just to end it here, like that's I think that would be exciting, man. I think that would be exciting. I don't know where the ballpark would be. They're definitely both not playing at the Bank. I don't think they are. I don't know where. Maybe they play in the Wells Fargo, the new Sixers Center. Maybe they're playing there too.
I mean, they did listen before Citizens Bank Park was built. They tried putting a baseball stadium in the city, like around the city area,
Right.
before they decided putting it where the big sports complex is now, near the Navy Yard and all. So it's possible, man. It's possible.
Hey, the Camden River Sharks, maybe they'll play where they used to be.
Dude,
I mean,
I was gonna
it's a good
mention that.
spot.
That's a great tease. It's a great tease by you. I was gonna
Thanks.
mention them. I
I didn't know that was
before.
okay.
No.
I'm done. I'm done. That's
All right.
that's my. So it's all you.
No,
You have the
it's a
floor.
great tease. So you know how much I love minor league baseball. I love.
Of course.
I would love to bring back the River Sharks, just like in real life, just like as another minor league team. I want to bring the River Sharks back. Like that'll be my dream. That'll be my goal in like when I'm retired from all this. I want to bring the River Sharks back and have them back. So to go along with that, my proposal is a whole new team in South Jersey, major league team. Now there's a city. There's a city in South Jersey that used to thrive. It doesn't thrive anymore. We're gonna pretend it still thrives. We're gonna pretend it still thrives. We're gonna pretend it's still
Millville?
thriving. It's Millville. No,
Is Trout gonna play for this team?
we're gonna pretend this city's still thriving, even though it's not, and it probably will never again. It's Las Vegas's little brother. Las Vegas's little brother. We're bringing a team to Atlantic City. We are bringing a team back to Atlantic City. Atlantic City's going to have a team. They're going to join the American League since the Phillies are so close. Atlantic City's getting a team for me. And I have no rhyme or reason as to what their name could be. I went with the Atlantic City Flash because they're back in a flash. I'm going with the Atlantic City Flash as my new team that I'm coming up with. It's a thriving city down there again. And we're bringing a team back to South Jersey. We're bringing a team back to this area. And we're having a whole new franchise down the shore. Book it.
Do we have sound effects here to like for like the like we have a soundboard where I can be like no.
This is why I said yours is more realistic. That's why I said yours was more realistic than mine. Mine was more of a fantasy that I've had. I want to bring, since the River Sharks stole my heart and folded, I needed to bring a major league team back to a thriving city near here. In my head, that the city's thriving once again. We're bringing them back.
I miss, it's funny. I miss the River Sharks. Number one. Number two.
There was a team in Atlantic City, the Atlantic City Surf. They were another.
The Surf.
They were another like small independent league team, the Atlantic City Surf. There's the stadium's still there. I actually called a game for Rowan Baseball, one of their playoff games. They played there in that stadium. I called a game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sick.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Look, I'll say this. I admire the crap out of your passion. I admire it. It's a great thing to have. It's a great attribute to have as a person. As a podcaster, as a radio broadcaster, everything. Like I'm giving you your flowers now while you can eat them or eat them while you can take them. So like I'm happy for you. I'm happy you feel that way. Hey, maybe a baseball team could help revive Atlantic City.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. But you're talking about bringing a minor league team back or a major league team?
Major league team. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a fantasy. It's just a fantasy of mine. We're gonna pretend it's like the 90s or the 80s, like in Atlantic City's on top of the world. That's
I wasn't there.
Neither was I. But like, I mean, they had all kinds of fights there. Like big time fights were held in Atlantic City.
All right, you're right.
It was a thriving period for that time. Now this, but yeah, man, I mean, they couldn't even keep the Surf, man, and Camden River Sharks, they're out the window too.
That's how the cookie crumbles, man. I'm gonna say this like flat out. I'm gonna say this with a lot of confidence. I like my idea a little more than yours.
Yeah. It's more realistic. It's more realistic.
Yeah.
Mine's more
but
fun.
You know what? Maybe the Philadelphia Athletics could bring back the Camden River Sharks to be the minor league team, but they can move to Atlantic City. They can move to Atlantic City.
You know
what I'm saying?
So we're bringing baseball back to Camden or Atlantic City some way, somehow with your proposal.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I mean, we're in this together.
maybe we'll join as partners then of this initiative. Let's join
What,
it.
as
We're gonna
players? You
no
want
no
to
no no
play?
partners
Oh,
partners partner. We're gonna be joined as
oh,
we're
okay.
business partners now.
All
We're gonna
right,
bring the A's to Philadelphia. We're gonna create some
right.
minor league interest here in South
Are we,
Jersey. Boom, we got it. We got a triple A
are
team
we
and
like
everything.
Josh Harris? Are we gonna
I
just
think
own all
so.
these teams?
Oh no, like
Yeah,
team. We gonna start a football team next?
yeah. I
Hockey team.
mean, yeah, we'll take it to Atlantic City. We're gonna have everything in Atlantic City.
We're gonna bring back Atlantic
CAC,
City.
baby. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our teams that we would revive. I want to know from everybody out there what you think of that. What team would you bring back? Would you bring back the Brooklyn Dodgers? They were a thought in my head. Would you bring back Brooklyn? I was gonna say Sandy Koufax, but I'm pretty sure he played for Los Angeles. So never mind on that. Brooklyn Dodgers, Philadelphia Athletics. Who were some other old? The Washington Senate. Screw that. We don't.
I have one thing to add. One thing to add.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna come up with a graphic of our combine. We're gonna combine our proposals. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come up with a graphic. We're gonna put it out on social media and see what people think.
I know
The shift. It's gonna be the Shift's proposed expansion team.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Again,
Philadelphia
Nick
A's,
Earnshaw.
Philadelphia A's coming back. The Camden River Sharks are coming back, and we're gonna have minor league baseball in Camden and Atlantic City. Boom. Book it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Earnshaw always with the heavy hitters. So you know how it goes. AC baby, bum ba ba ba. There it is. So Nick, I want to hear from you first on this because I do have a couple of thoughts, but I want to hear from you first. Give me a storyline that either A, no one's talking about right now at all, or something that's not being talked about enough right now in baseball. What you got for me, bro?
So we kind of took different angles on this a little bit. So everyone's talking about the proposed rule changes or the implemented rule changes, I guess I should say, this year. Everyone's kind of talking about, they've cut 20, 25, 30 minutes off the end of the games, right? Great. The games are moving quicker. Awesome. The pitch clock, guys getting in and out of batter's box, the timer, right? I feel like I haven't heard much talk about time between balls in play. And I was reading the story in The Athletic. They went down the past 3 seasons, including this year, the difference in how in between balls in play, it is significantly down. In 2021, it was 3 minutes and 52 seconds. 2022 was 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And in 2023, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So you're having a more constant action. It's nearly down a minute almost, which I think is significant. I think if it's going to trend that way, things are going to be moving all the time, right? You're going to have more action, and that's what baseball wants. So I thought that was interesting that there's more action this year. And I haven't seen this number at all. Like no one's really talked about it. That's why I wanted to bring it up today. But time between balls in play, it's come down pretty significantly. In a sense, it's come down at least 33 seconds from last year and 45 seconds or around 45 seconds from 2021. So nearly a minute between basically contact between balls in play. So I thought that was an interesting stat that I wanted to bring up because you hear everything else. You hear the top of the line, the clock and all, but I thought I was very curious to hear that's come down a pretty significant margin. I feel like
that's big. I'm glad you brought that up. And it definitely should be talked about more enough because this is what some of these rule changes were supposed to do, right? Like the shift, that was supposed to really help with that, right? It was supposed to, have guys not worry about just trying to get on base, but trying to, put the ball somewhere where they can feel comfortable with it. It's hard to hit a baseball, right? It's really hard. But guys feel comfortable, can feel more comfortable knowing that like a Bryce Harper or a Kyle Schwarber or Joey Gallo. I mean, Joey Gallo has been really good this year. He's like a 900 OPS. Stuff like that helps hitters. But in general, like the commissioners and Theo Epstein, like their goal was to, lessen the time or the time between balls in play. You wanted the ball in play to be in be in play more, especially now in 2023 where everybody wants everything right now. So I definitely think that's a story that should be talked about more. Like you said, everyone's been talking about like, oh, stolen bases. Like, well, I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, Ronald Acuna, and I just made a video about this. Ronald Acuna Jr. is on his way to having like possibly like a 40 home run, 60 stolen base season. Like that's just besides the fact, but just in general of, these rule changes were supposed to help, certain things come back. And this one that you're talking about, the whole ball between, balls in play, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So I think it's a good one by you.
I think it's because it has to do with kind of a combination of all the rules, right? Like you mentioned, the shift's part of that. The time in between pitches is part of that. Like all those factors are generating that number that you're getting, 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Like that's what's generating that number. So there's more action, and I think that's good. I think it's good to have more action, constant. You're not football where there's a new play every time. So you're keeping that balance. That it's still baseball, but you're having more action, right? Than you kind of have had in previous seasons over the past couple of years. So
yeah, for sure, that's what baseball wanted. Yeah, no, for sure. That's a great one. All right, so for me, I'm gonna just I'll go with one because we're sticking with one. I did have a few I wanted to talk about. Maybe we can leave one.
Drop another one. Drop two in there. Drop two in there.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I'll go with one, and then we'll save one for later. We'll save one for later because I do want to talk about it at some point, but just for strict segment professional purpose.
What is it? What did Kramer say? You're even Steven.
Dean Kramer?
No, Kramer from Seinfeld.
This is baseball. I don't care about Seinfeld. I don't care about Seinfeld.
Oh, come on. There was big baseball episodes in there. The Phillies were mentioned in a
yeah, I know. Paul O'Neill was in there. Well, good for the Phillies.
You hate Seinfeld. I know you do. It's ridiculous.
I don't hate it. It's just overrated.
You hate Seinfeld. You hate Twizzlers. You hate fun.
Yeah, Twizzlers is definitely justified. Twizzlers suck. Oh my gosh, Twizzlers don't taste like anything. I would rather, I don't know what I would rather do. I would rather do a lot of other things besides eat Twizzlers. Okay. I would rather do that.
Dude, where's my
I would rather watch, I would rather go to a Tampa Bay Rays or have season tickets to the Rays. I would rather do that.
Oh God.
All right, listen. So what my one storyline that isn't being talked about enough, I think it's kind of split into two a little bit. This one. The D-backs are 25-19. And more, to me, more of a story. And Zac Gallen has been a good pitcher since he has come, into Major League Baseball. You can go back to, when he came in 2019 he was actually a Marlin to start of his career, and then got traded that year to the D-backs, and it was really good his rookie year. Only had 15 starts, but 2.81 ERA and almost 11 strikeouts per 9. Like he's been good, but the last couple of years, man, Zac Gallen has not only turned himself from a good pitcher, he's went from a good pitcher, let's be real, to an ace. He is now an ace. Okay. Spencer Strider is somebody, he's close for me. He's almost there. I want to see how he finishes out the year, and then we can start calling him an ace. Okay. Zac Gallen, he has done this. You can go back to the shortened season, COVID, 2.75 ERA in 72 innings, 1.64 ERA plus. Like it was incredible, albeit 12 starts. But last year, ERA just a smidge over 2.5 in 31 starts. Okay, and 184 innings, led the National League in WHIP, led the majors in hits per 9 in 31 starts. 9 starts this year. Okay, I'm not going to mention that he leads the National League in wins. I don't care about that, okay? Not going to mention that, even though I technically mentioned it. I'm going to talk about he's leading the majors in fielding independent pitching right now, 1.79. His ERA, microscopic. Hold up. I'm looking, bro. I can't see it. It is a 2.35.
Can't see it either. Can't find it.
It is a 1.82 ERA plus. It is leading again the National League in walks and hits per innings pitched. His home runs per 9 is down last year from 0.7 to 0.3 this year. His hits per 9 just hovering around 6.4 or hovering around 6, just what it was last year pretty much. Zac Gallen, I don't think people are talking enough about. I think there's people talking about it, but there's not people talking. If he was a Yankee, my gosh, it would be Zac Gallen this, Zac Gallen that, Zac Gallen. Oh, he's better than Garrett Cole. He's better than Max Scherzer, who has neck spasms every other day and is using rosin while he's pitching.
What did I
better
tell
than
you?
Justin Verlander.
What did I tell you about the Mets?
You
What did
tell me
I
anything.
tell you
You
about the
didn't tell
Mets?
me anything. You didn't tell me anything. Zac Gallen, people are not talking about Zac Gallen enough. I mean, I had his numbers up from the last couple of years combined, right? Since 2022. 40 starts, 2.5 ERA, 241 innings, 262 strikeouts, an ERA that is if you're putting it to league average, 64% above league average. It's FIP 275. I mean, it's almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. He's been one of the best pitchers in baseball since the start of last year, and I don't think people are talking about that enough. How do you feel about that, Nick? Sorry.
I think that was a great one by you. I really do. Zac Gallen has been unbelievable, and I think the stigma of him being in Arizona has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, they're in a small. I mean, Arizona's not a small market, but like they're still like. I feel like they're considered a small market. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
for sure. Yeah.
It's not like a small market, but it's not the Yankees, right? It's not the Phillies, not the Red Sox. It's not one of these East Coast powerhouses. It's not the Dodgers, right? They kind of sit behind, especially in that division. You have the Dodgers, you have the Giants, you have the Padres.
Great point.
Padres have spent a lot of money, so everyone kind of forgets about the Diamondbacks, and they've built up a pretty good roster with some young players. And Zac Gallen has been unbelievable. He's been freaking fantastic. I don't need to rehash some of the numbers that you went through, but he's been freaking awesome. And people kind of forget, like with some of these small market teams. There's some talent, man, and there's some aces that people don't talk about enough. And Zac Gallen, he's in that conversation, and his ERA extremely low this year. I mean, we were looking for it here in our camera, we couldn't find because it was so small. But my goodness, he has been real good. He has been unbelievable.
Yeah, let me give you a few more. I'm just looking at his StatCast page right now. Like his walks are down from last year from 6.6. It's gone down. I mean, almost every single year from 2021. It went from just over 9% in 21. Last year 6.6%. Now it's 3.7, which is top 6% in the league. And his K percentage is at a career high right now, just over 32. So I mean, it's just, you can go down the list. I can name as many numbers as I want to right now, but I wanted to bring up a point that you just brought up right there, the division, because the division, and maybe why people aren't talking about the D-backs enough too. They don't believe in them enough, which I understand. So I didn't want to talk about that too much more, just about Zac Gallen, but the Padres are there. I mean, the Padres are loaded with Bogarts and Soto and Tatis. And I mean, my gosh, Musgrove, Dodgers, again, the Dodgers, we all know even the Dodgers are still the Dodgers, even though a little bit of a change of scenery there. So I know you wanted to get in on that a little more. So
I mean, all the other teams are getting the headlines, right? And it seems like the Diamondbacks haven't been relevant in a while. So you kind of forget, they have Zac Gallen
since the Goldschmidt days.
Yeah, I mean, and that hurt him since he went to St. Louis. They don't have that guy who has that name recognition as much anymore, right? They're building.
Should be Gallen.
They're getting it with some of these younger guys now who are playing really well. But
Christian Walker's a beast.
Part of it. Yeah, I think Walker's kind of gonna put them on the map a little bit more. But listen, they have some young studs over there, and Gallen's pitched really well over the past couple of years, and Walker's gonna be, I think, a really, really nice, solid player for a long time. So listen, the Diamondbacks, good team to watch, and Zac Gallen's a pitcher to keep your eye on throughout the rest of this year too.
Yeah, so let's just perfectly segue out of the meat potatoes into our close. This is perfect close. This is a perfect segue because we're going to talk about Zac Gallen again. And I know you wanted to mention this, and this is definitely something worth mentioning. Zac Gallen, it was a curveball too. It was a curveball. He tried to kill this bird. That's what it says on Twitter.
Oh my God, I didn't know it was a curveball.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So he was sitting there playing catch before the game in Oakland, right? Someone caught it on camera. He's trying to throw it to whoever, and it hits a bird. He thought he was Randy Johnson.
Dude, I had flashbacks.
I mean, I get it. Gallen's got long hair, kind of like RJ, but like not Not that he's not as big as the big unit. He's not that, but he wanted to be Randy Johnson. He killed a bird. Can you believe that they set that up? That wasn't random. He killed the bird. They wanted to. I'm just kidding. So obviously I'm kidding. But like, if you had not seen the video, Zac Gallen randomly hits a bird while he's just playing catch before his game in Oakland the other day. Insane. And the day before the anniversary of Randy Johnson's perfect game, which was today, in 2004. So I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious. To see that, to hit a bird. You know what's crazy? You'll hate this. I was out on the golf course. When I was out on the golf course, a couple of weeks ago, one of the guys I was playing with, he hit his tee shot. No, I'm not even kidding. Landed right on a bird. Didn't kill it, but landed and hit the bird, and you just see the bird go down. Like as it was getting up to start flying away, and the ball just came and hit it, knocked it down, and then it like kind of got back up and flew away gingerly. Not even lying.
That's insane.
This was a couple weeks ago. I forgot to tell you about that, but like it made me think of that. It made me think of I thought of Randy Johnson.
You thought of Chubbs, right? The golf course. You thought of Chubbs?
No, I didn't think of Chubbs. I did not think of Chubbs. Oh, Happy Gilmore, man. Did I see something they were trying to make a second one? I don't know. But anyway,
like, right, we'll get into that. We can say that. We can say that.
But yeah, no. I mean, like the fact they caught this on camera, like it wasn't.
Oh yeah, that's a crazy thing.
Like it wasn't during a game. Like Johnson's was during a spring training game, and like ridiculous. The way that was a fastball that knocked that bird out. But this one, I can't believe the fact they got it on camera is the best part to me. The best part to me. No doubt.
I agree
with
you.
In my mind. No doubt.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. So if you haven't checked out the video, go check it out. You can find it on Twitter.
It's fun,
it's really dope. Okay. Give me let's close it out with give me some bets. We'll go 1-1-1. We'll go one each, and I have 3.
Now you have 3 for today because there's already games today. That's my thing.
Yeah, but all of these are yeah. Well, actually, I have a D-backs Pirates. I've done a lot of Diamondbacks today. Okay. D-backs Pirates for tomorrow, and I have Phillies Cubs for tomorrow.
All right, cool. Because I was gonna do tomorrow. I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Okay, that's perfect. I do have a Yankees one, but I mean we can do it real quick for.
Okay. I'm gonna take the over in bases. For Alec Boehm. I feel like Alec Boehm's gonna start to heat up again. I'm gonna take the over for Alec Boehm and bases against Marcus Stroman tomorrow.
Okay. I'll stick with the Phillies one on that.
Total bases.
Okay. I'll stick with the Phillies one on that, and I will say, I have it's a Phillies -1.5 / over 8.5 runs. I guess what do you call that when it's 2-1? Is it a parlay?
Parlay, man. Parlay.
Yeah, look at me. I'm learning.
Yeah.
So the Phillies -1.5 to win and over 8.5 runs at +380. I'm gonna take that. The Phillies have been super inconsistent this year. They have just they have been up and down. It seems like it's a 5-game winning streak, 5-game losing streak, 5-game winning. It's just up and down. They're coming off getting 4 straight with the Rockies and the Giants. So I would take that for the Phils to beat the Cubs there, and that the over. So that's cool. Take the +380.
All right, what's your next one? Sounds good. All right, my next one, I'm gonna go Yankees and Reds. I think you should take the over in total runs scored here. I think you got Schmidt on the mound, and then you got Ben Lively on the mound, who's only had one start.
Is that former Phil?
Yeah, I think so. Didn't Ben Lively?
Ben Lively. I gotta go do your thing. I just.
But in this game, take the over. Take the over and runs scored in this game. I think there's gonna be a lot of runs scored in this ball game.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was. This is not a Phillies podcast, but we just had to check. He does have 20 starts to his name for the Phillies. I remember in 2017.
Yeah, that's right. 17.
And then he was traded. He was traded to the Royals. I'm trying to think of what that trade was.
Now he's in Cincy.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you my next one. It will be let's go back to the Diamondbacks. Let's go. I'm gonna take it with the parlay. I just learned what the parlay is. -1.5 and the over 7.5 against the Pirates tomorrow.
Okay.
The Pirates have not. They've just faltered since that they're really hot start. Everyone was like, oh, well, the Pirates were really. Well, it's baseball. That's how it works. Bad teams, I have good starts, whatever. So I will take Diamondback, especially when you got Zac Gallen on the hill. We've been talking about him all show. So yeah, I would take the -1.5 / over 7.5 for the Pirates.
I'm going to go with Blake Snell. Tomorrow is supposed to pitch against the Red Sox. He's the probable starter. I'm going to say he's going to have the under in strikeouts. The Red Sox have been hitting the snot out of the baseball lately. The past two games, they have a combined 21 runs. All year is right. 21 runs in the last 2 games. They go to San Diego to start. I think it's a 3-game set there. They have a West Coast trip, then they'll go to the Angels. But Blake Snell against the Red Sox, he's got under in strikeouts. He's had a couple of times out where he's had 7 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts, 4. But I'm going to take the under in strikeouts for Blake Snell.
Oh, I'm sorry for making funny. That was disrespectful. That was immature. All right, my last one. The game is happening right now. I think it is. I kind of wanted to watch this game shoot, but I am going for a run first because I need to let out my energy. So I'll have first. Yankees and Blue Jays, I believe, is on right now. Nick Earnshaw.
I think so. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
It's
7 o'clock.
Yeah, I think.
Damn it! All right. So either way,
Yankees are up 2-0. At the time.
Damn it. Rizzo probably already batted. I was going to give you Rizzo plus 400 at a home run tonight. His numbers against Jose Barrios are nasty. He's got 2 home runs.
Get live bet.
Maybe you can still live bet it. So if there's possibility, do it. Okay. Because we are live right now. So
don't do it if you're listening. Don't do it if you're re-listening to the podcast or something.
Right. Well, maybe you never know. Show. Hey, well, maybe Rizzo they play the Blue Jays again because they will, and he faces Barrios, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that time Francisco told me about taking that bet. So you'd be like, oh yeah, duh. So that's what we got today. Shout out to Yennier Cano and his 0 ERA. I just want to mention that real quick. Through however many innings, it's been unbelievable. I had to mention that. No one's talked about him enough. No one's talked about Adolis Garcia and leading the major leagues in RBIs right now. Even though RBIs aren't really a stat anymore, I'll say that out there. But good for Adolis Garcia.
Good Lord.
Nick Earnshaw, that's going to do it for us. Make sure you check out the Ronald Acuna Jr. video. The guy is on pace for a season we haven't seen in a long time. We'll see if he keeps it up. But if you're a Phillies fan, let's hope he doesn't keep it up. But if you're a baseball fan, let's hope he keeps it up. Nick Earnshaw, it's going to do it for us. I see you got a baseball in your hand. Are you going to throw that at the screen before we leave?
Joe Blanton gave me this one, by the way.
Joe Blanton.
Yeah.
Former Philadelphia Athletic. We're out of here. We'll see you guys next week.